Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Testimonials with Opie. I think I think the biggest thing that I get requesting a testimonial is yes, we can give you one, and then I don't know how to put you into words, and then I never hear from them again. So I thought, why not hunt down some of my faves and get some video testimonials so we can discuss. And so I want to invite Linzie to the conversation, girl. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
It's kind of wild because I was thinking about how long we've connected now and how many different ways I've been able to support you. But one of the special things I think between you and I is that you were my last in-person psychic medium one-on-one reading.
Yes, I was.
Right?
Yes, and I was so pumped for that, but also like a little bit sad selfishly because being in your energy in person is absolutely phenomenal. But it was a very, very special moment for me. Yes.
Yeah, that's so kind. I feel a little blushy. I want to jump back because I want to discuss, like, how did you find me and what drew you to take the leap and come see me?
Actually, I had just started my new job in the NICU, and when you start a new job, yeah, sometimes you don't have that many friends. And I connected with this one girl named Megan, and we went down for coffee at the hospital one day, and we were both feeling like kind of alone, but we realized that we were both kind of spiritual. So we clung to each other, and she mentioned your name a couple times, and I was like, okay. She's like, you got to see Opie, you got to get a reading with her. And I was like, okay. And I kind of like pushed it back for a bit, and then finally I was having like a really just low week, and I thought, well, your name kept popping up in my head. I said, I think this is the time. Like, I think I should just reach out and expand my spiritual journey because it's very new for me. So me being a very stubborn Ukrainian woman, I'm like, new things are scary. And then I reached out and booked my first appointment with you, and I have not looked back since.
Oh, that's so exciting. It's wild. I find a lot of people really have to process before coming in. I didn't realize, because when I went to my first, I was like hooked, and I didn't realize how many people hold fears around the experience.
Yeah, huge fears, because you don't, like, for your first time, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then after the first time, sometimes there are like hard truths that come out, or you call me on things or whatever. I'm like, am I ready to process more things? Am I ready to expand? Am I ready to grow? Sometimes like you have to be in a place of wanting to do that. And I think sometimes that's where fear can take over as well.
I tell you what, the type of read with somebody who is totally open to the process and ready to overhaul themselves is so different than somebody who wants to stay in the place of like putting responsibility all on everybody exterior.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like your energy when you came to me, you were so ready.
Yes.
To let it go.
Yeah. And I think I had been through just so much trauma, and I had processed a lot of that, but I was stuck on the letting go part and the new chapter of my life, or what the next chapters of my life could even look like. I was still, part of me was still stuck in the old, and I was ready to leave that part behind. And you helped me 1,000% with that.
Well, I can't do my job. I can just give you the tools, right? But it's my clients that build the house with it. And you have like taken those tools. You're like me, you're a little stubborn. And sometimes we put those tools on the table for too long. And then all of a sudden we're like, wow, I really should have used the electric saw versus the hand one. It's been incredible to be a witness to your growth and development. So thinking back, what was like the biggest goal and what has that morphed into now?
The biggest goal, I think, for me was the letting go and like not having my traumas or things that people have said to me label who I am, because that's not who I am. But I was connecting to that way too much. And I think that was a huge part of the process, was being able to let all of that go, but then also believe in myself in this new journey and spiritually, and believe that I can heal myself and I don't need other people to heal me. And the more tools I have, the better I can do. And if I can do better for myself, I can also do better for the people around me.
I love that you let go of the labels.
Right. And those labels, like, they were killing me.
Yeah. They were killing you because you were abiding by that structure, right?
And that's what I believed. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Having the ability to let that go. And there was one thing that you told me, and this was on a Zoom call. And I was a little apprehensive about Zoom calls because I like being in your energy. So I was a little bit sad.
Well, because everybody's really upset about that, right? Like they are like, I want the in-person experience. I want your, right? But how do you find it? Because you've experienced both now. How do you find the Zoom?
At first I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. I went in like almost with a mental block. And as soon as I connected on Zoom with you, it was like, oh no, there's the energy. There it is. And I didn't really feel any different other than I couldn't get a hug from you at the end. Really. But I mean, the entire conversation is like a hug anyway. So honestly, Zoom has still been super, super great and super positive.
Good. I think the hardest part is getting people to know the audio. That's
yeah, absolutely. And there's been times I'm like, oh, hold on, I can't hear you. And then I have to try and figure it out.
Panicked, right? How do I get the audio to work?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I lost track where we were going with that. Because you wrote down something that hit in Zoom.
Yeah, so I was really trying to figure out that, like, why I've been through so much trauma in the last little while. And I'm the type of person, I don't want to be a victim. And so like, well, I must have gone through it to be able to help other people, because I'm a very outspoken person. I'm not afraid to share things. I'm not afraid to help people. And so I had talked to you about sharing some of my stuff on social media. And every time it would come up and you would try and push me in a couple readings, and then I would resist it and you would keep calling me on it. And I didn't know really why I was resisting it. And then I remember in one call, I was talking about being triggered when I was sharing things. And the thing that you said was, but you're choosing to be triggered. Yeah. You've already dealt with those and felt those feelings and healed those things. So why do you need to be triggered? And literally, I still to this day, if I am in a situation where I'm being triggered, in my head, I can hear you saying, no, you're choosing to be triggered.
Yeah.
And I drop it.
Digression, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and that was huge for me, just to like, yeah, okay, all that stuff is, it's okay that it happened, but we don't have to live there anymore. I can share it, but I can share it untriggered and from a stronger sense of self.
Yes. And I think the important thing for people to know is you have to do the work of healing. You can't just not feel the emotion. And you had really gone through the depths of it, but we had not gone to the mental place of recognizing we can have the conversation around it and not break down, because we're not there. We're not healing. We recognize all the pieces of it. We've done the work around it. Why am I in this emotional state? And it was just, that's all you knew.
Yeah. And I didn't know how to think of it differently. And just, it was one sentence from you that was just changed so much for me.
Well, and you've kind of like exploded into like abilities and expansion, and we've done energy work together. Like, you have done classes with me, you have done all sorts of stuff. So how have you enjoyed that experience?
The class, like, learning from you was awesome. Being able to be around people that were like-minded, and then just to have you teach us, because your energy is electric. I found it was just, it felt super safe. super safe to learn something that you've never learned before, that you probably go in doubting yourself a little bit. And so to feel safe and to feel heard and to feel on like the same plane, you know, there's no, oh, Opie's up here and I'm down here.
No.
You make everybody feel heard and seen and safe, which I think in that class was huge. And I think it was, I could speak for other people as well, it was huge for everybody. Everybody felt that.
It was pretty powerful.
Yeah. And then also you have led me to other people. I took like the Mindscape class, which I would have never heard about from if I didn't hear you. And you led me to David, which I would have never heard about him. So it's not only just like the work that you and I have done that has been incredible. It's also the other tools that come with meeting you that have been also fabulous.
Oh, that makes me so happy, because I think the biggest thing I always want people to know is I am not meant to be your everything. I am not meant, and I want you exploring other modalities, other people, other experience, and you're drawn to these other people for reasons. I have some people come to me, I saw another psychic medium. I'm like, that's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Because I can only have one filter. And I don't want you staying in a box.
No.
Right?
We're not meant to be in a box.
No, I want you exploring, learning, growing, right? So it's incredible to see you take these opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite part of you is the resistance, and you push through it.
Yeah, because
you might have a breakdown, but you get to that other side.
I do. And there's always that resistance first. And it's almost like I get mad at myself. Like, why are you resisting? You've seen the change. Like, if you talk to people, and even including yourself, but people that have known me even longer, I am a completely different person than I was even 2 years ago. And like healed and strong and right. And it's because of all the work that I've done through people like you, through Reiki, through all the things. I did my level 2 Reiki because you pushed me to believe in myself. I would have never done that before.
Gate opener to the other side. That is like
right. And I would have been like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Oh,
no, actually I can. And I've done level 1, I've done level 2, I'm gonna do level 3, and it's with somebody else. And it's incredible.
And I love it. And I love that you were connected to that individual and they were able to support you, right? So it's been so exciting to hear the progress too, because I always love celebrating when people are like excited about the choices they made and the positive impact it's had, right?
Even though sometimes it's not always easy.
Let's explore that, because something that people either work with me on or don't, and I can always tell in the beginning of a session how I'm going to resonate with somebody, because I'm a bit of a truth bomb.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so am I. So getting a taste of my own medicine is like, oh, okay, here we go.
I'll abide by your storyline that you're feeding yourself for so long before I drop a little seed and allow it to be planted. Now, being said, I honor somebody's individual journey and the lessons that come from things. So I will never tell somebody yay or nay. But I will say, watch for these signs if something shifts, because I'm not meant to take your life experience away from you. You go through challenges to grow. And my biggest complaint from you is that I'm always right.
Yes. Which shouldn't be a complaint, but it's like, oh, if she could just be wrong once. No. It's like, oh, okay, here we go again. And stop resisting. And trust and believe and listen and all the things.
Right? So it's just, it's tuning in to the internal gut.
Yes.
And letting like the mystical brain, the magical romantic brain, the fearful logic put it aside, and what's actually happening inside in our gut and go through the layers of it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's hard. I still do that.
Yeah, I'm
just
hard.
as human as everybody else, right? So it's growing, and these experiences provide those growth. And then when you can sit and reflect, you're always like, well, damn it, Opie.
Right? But you also, like, there are lots of people that I'm sure could have a reading with you and then not go through that and not get as much out of it. So just like you said in the beginning, you can give the tools, but it's up to the person to do what they want with it.
Yeah.
And that's where, when I met with the resistance, that's what I remember. Because it's like, okay, well, I could resist it and nothing will change. Or I could resist it and then push through that and then see what happens on the other side. Which on the other side, even though that resistance and that change has been hard, it's been beautiful once you get through it.
Yeah. It
Which
really
is, I think, really key. A lot of people, they can't come to you just thinking like, oh, something's going to be fixed, or I'm going to hear what I need, and that's it. You still have to do a lot of work.
Yeah. I am not meant to save anybody. I am meant to just support them and guide them. And it's their life journey, right? And I think the funniest thing is I have so many people who want to save people come to me, and I'm like, can you imagine if I saved all my clients? Like, I would be in the psych ward so quick.
You would. Yes. Yes. No, you can't.
My husband would be divorcing me, and my children would be like, see ya.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we can't do this.
Right? So learning those boundaries too. I really love exploring that with people. So it's kind of, but I mean, like, there is a lot of depth. There is a lot of like rawness if you allow that to happen in our space together, right? But do you feel like that intensity was worth it?
Oh, 1,000%. Like, there are times I wish that I would have met you sooner and things could have happened sooner, but they were meant to happen when they happened. And I totally trust that. And I totally trust the universe put us in a path together when it was meant to be. And when I was, I think, ready to really dive in and accept everything that was coming through our readings.
You just get to a point that you just can't stand being unhappy anymore.
No, and you can't stand even your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get it. Right? It's like you just, if I talked to myself 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be able to look her in the eye. I'd be like, who are you and what are you doing? Right. And I feel like you've like compacted that. Right. Because
in one of our sessions, you're like, so you're hyper sped through this healing. So just hold on. Oh my God. Okay. And you weren't kidding. There were times where I literally just sit, I'm like, oh, she really wasn't kidding about like hyper sped. Could we have not taken this slow? No? Okay, here we go. And you push through, and I pushed through, and here I am.
It's been like incredible watching your journey. I can't tell you how proud I am of you and the mountains you climb, the, challenges they give you. Because once we start growing, they will serve you some heavy plates. And just test you. Are you really abiding by this new structure, or are you going back to safety? And you are in those trenches. You are not settling, and you are not giving up. And I love it.
I know. I fucking love it too. It's so good.
Being said, if somebody's on the fence about exploring Opie time,
get off the fence. Get off the fence. Jump over the fence, take the leap, take your fear and shove it somewhere where it doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, there are so many things to say, so many positive outcomes that there are times where you can't put it into words, but the energy that I get from you, the amount of, I wouldn't even say advice, but just like aha moments I get from you. I even got some things from people that have passed on that I needed to know they were safe and okay, and you gave that to me. So much clarity. If if you're on the fence, get off the fence, because she will change your life forever.
Aww, I love it. I'm forever grateful for my community. I just remember how terrified you were the first day you came and sat in my chair, and how excited we get when we get to dive in and explore every time since.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I bawled during all of that, but it was so good. So even though it wasn't all like happy sunshines and rainbows, it was still absolutely incredible.
Aw, I always advise Kleenex.
Yeah. Kleenex, lots of Kleenex.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much for holding space with me and just sharing this with people so that they can just get a taste of what could be right for them, right?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, you guys, you had it firsthand there, this beautiful soul holding space with me, and all the deets are in my link tree on my website, opconnection.ca, and you can check me out on all the social media platforms.